Hi Richard, I thought I'd do your video, it might be easier to explain. So we've got an E46 here, we've got about a 6-month lead time on these repairs. Rear axle carrier panel issue, which some people call a subframe issue, as well as the underside needing work, reinforcement, which we've got our own plates for and they've been selling nicely for 5 years. We're now having to do lots of internal work to not only repair cracks but also add additional strength. We've got 3 load relief systems that we offer in the form of, here's one here which we produce all in-house, but they're only hand done. This is an exposed bar in the boot. Then we've also got another system which is a hidden brace underneath the boot skin, which goes back on here. We've cut this boot skin out, and then we've got a third one which is an adapter bracket for the safety devices cages. Anyway, the issue is, at the moment we're doing all this in hand and making plates, and they're not pretty because we're just using fairly primitive tools, whereas we need them laser cut, drawn and laser cut, exactly like our Reedus reinforcement plates, which we have sold since 2012, and we've sold about 600 sets of those worldwide. That's underneath the car. Now we need some help making the internal brackets and things that all the things that we make inside the in-house, tubing. I mean, all these just need to be laser cut in the 50s, 100s, 150s, and just for us pick them off the shelf and coming to weld them in, because it takes us so long to make these, and like I say, they're not pretty either. So I'd much rather get some designs drawn up from our templates, and we can get these laser cut hopefully, even with the bars as well. Look at profiling the bar and having these holes pre-done. So that's one system. This is it drops down. I'm not going to do it because I'm one-handed, but they drop down over the tubes and it all gets welded, so the rear axle carrier panel energy is spread into the chassis legs, not just the sheet metal work, which is cracking, which is why we have to come inside and do the repairs. So that's the what we call the exposed system. Obviously I'll get the templates, just giving you an idea of what we're doing. And going over to another one which we're working on. So this is another plate that we have to make them in-house. It takes us ages, and that's a sort of simple thing out of 2 mils sheet steel, probably CR4 or something like that. It's easy to just have laser cut, we're hoping. So that's what this video is for, just to give you a heads up of what we're doing and try and get some templates drawn up. This car suffered tons because this is the rear axle carrier panel, and it literally rips itself off of these chassis legs. So over in this corner here, they always drop, and the panels sort of like listing off of the chassis leg where it breaks the spot welds, and they get cracks down here. So this one's having the adapter brackets, which are little 1-inch brackets which connect to the safety device roll cage which goes in the boot, and then the other option is a hidden brace system that we work in. There's other templates as well we got for that, but we're also looking to have these things made up. These are what we call the ribs. We take these can get cracks through them. They're only 0.75 mil, they're not very thick. They can get cracks through them. Sometimes we can put them back on and stitch weld them like this. Sometimes really we just need some new panels made up, and they got some swage lines, which is the sort of thing maybe we're hoping we can possibly get some help with, or certainly at least get the metal templated and laser cut, and maybe even bent if you can offer that sort of thing as well, because we've literally reached the capabilities of ourselves in-house now. Because here's a new front one I'm working on, which is the front seat panel area. They suffer with cracking problems. Here's some of the MIG welds that are cracked that we've identified and stock drilled. We've still got to remove these MIG welds, and then we'll do the re-welding process later on. But some of our customers like to have the rear axle carrier panel stitch welded from underneath the car and inside the car to strengthen it up. And we've got a new plate system we're working on here, which is a new seat panel bracket, because the seat panels are breaking as well. These spot welds are broken, and there's a few cracks coming out on the other side. So we also need to repair these, but this seat panel is also 0.75, really flimsy. And we're going to start loading a through bolt in here to a slash cut sort of cup, which we're going to reinforce into the plates, but we can't use the 0.75 we've just taken and cut out of here because it's just simply too flimsy. So we're trying trialing 1.5, which we need what is it, about a 75-degree angle. So it's going to come up to here, go down, and be spread its load into the chassis legs, which is a much stronger piece over here rather than 0.75. This is 1.2. So And why we've reached the capabilities of our limits is because we don't. This is 950mm wide, and we don't have a 1 metre metal folder in-house. So that's where now we could do with some of these items laser cut. Well, nearly all of them laser cut, to be honest. And hopefully folded as well. There's a simple fold all the way across this thing, and then another little 35-degree fold for these two just here. So that gives you an idea what we're doing. We've been doing these non-stop since about 2011, and like I said, we've got a 6-month lead time. So I'm hoping to get hundreds and hundreds of plates made up, not only for our use in-house, but hopefully for sale as well. Because I'll just show you underneath the car. You may have heard or seen of our reinforcement plates. These are the version 2, V2. Don't think the camera's going to focus. There we go. These are welded on, and these are what solve the problems underneath the car when the cracks develop underneath. And we've got plenty of them. They're all laser cut and folded, and we've got a supplier for those. But the supplier we're using just is becoming a little bit more trickier to deal with, it seems, when it comes to new items. So that's where hopefully you can step in and we can go forward and make lots of new sheet steel.